Hey guys, welcome to our channel. So, this is going to be my attempt to explain how we think these quantum computers are working and why we're finding the code. So, we'll get right into it so we don't hopefully run very long. First of all, we think that there's an infinite number of realities, probably in different waves, um, different frequency waves, whatever you want to call them. And those are also infinite. Now, we did this before. We made a diagram, and we made, for our scale, we made our infinite number be 4. So we drew a diagram with 4 representing infinite. In other words, 4 waves, infinite. Infinite waves, infinite outcome points, right here. And we're diagramming 4 as our infinite number, but remember, this is not 4. This means it's infinite. This would go on forever, but we can't scale on forever. So. And so when you're dealing with these quantum computers, let's just make this simple enough. We'll say, so we don't get confused, we are here. This is the first one. We're going to say we are here. So if we had a quantum computer here and somebody was using it, those, according to Gordy Rose, those quantum computers operate in 7 different realities apiece, and I think that he meant including the one you're in, but we'll say just 7 altogether, which means 6 including this one. All right. So we'll say 7, and this will be number 7. I think it should be 8, but we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. We'll say it's 7 altogether. So, if we were using a quantum computer in this reality, we would be calculating off of that reality, maybe. That reality. There's 2. There's 3. We're calculating into this. Remember, this is the one we're in, the first one. We'd be using a quantum computer. We'd be calculating in this reality, that reality, that reality. 3. And we'll say this reality down here, 4. And say this reality down here for 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and plus 7, plus the 1. So there's 7. So we'd be calculating from here, and we'd be calculating to all these points from here. Now, we're not even going to get into the fact that these guys would probably be using us for a calculation coming the other way, but to save confusion, we'll say this is where we're at. And we're calculating here, 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 and here to come up with an answer for a calculation right here. And let's just say Perry Stone Ministries is making their calculation, right? Because we already did that a while back. We got them, we connected them to the quantum network. All right. So now it's also important to note some of these realities would appear to be behind, some of these realities would appear to be ahead. Everything would happen at once, but we would perceive it as progressive through time, but it would actually happen all at once. So you'd be calculating here, this might be, reality might be 50 years behind. This one might be 50 years ahead. This one might be right where we're at. And so on. And once they did that, the computer would leave a code, just like you would leave a code operating on the internet, except these computers operate in reality. So they would leave a code. We think those codes are the codes that those codes are the little changes, broken to troubled, ever to never, gold to stone, you know, two to will, little things, stopers to craft, standing to dancing, whatever it might be, and whatever they would leave. Excuse me 1 second. I'll get something here. Okay, so you would calculate from here. All this would happen at once. When you were done, you'd get an answer here to your calculation, and you would leave a little code. You would probably leave a code not only here, but also here, and here, and here, and here, and here, and here. But all we can do is pick up the one here, unless we Mandela Effect one of these other codes, or one of these other, unless there was a Mandela Effect that happened to be one of these others that somehow shifted there. I'm guessing we can only pick up the code left in the reality we're in. So that's what we got to work with. And if not, then maybe more of these codes or more of these changes are connected than we thought. I mean, if it left a code in every reality, and then it left that same code every time, so 7 codes, maybe we're looking for 7 different Mandela effects to equal one calculation. So you see that, that's what it's doing. Then you notice a Mandela effect and say, okay, what's going on? And so then if you make these extractions, that's the code it left. And it will tell you within this what it calculated. Now, that, like I said, this would only be one of, I mean, unless they left the exact same code in every reality, which I doubt, but it could be. But if they don't, we're only getting one, we'll say 1/7 of the code with this. We can tell who was looking at it. In this case, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Nanyang Technological University, because why wouldn't we be able to? Because this is the reality that was doing the calculation, not these. Well, I mean, they might be doing a calculation, but not this particular calculation would come from this, our reality. So whoever did that, their fingerprint would be all over it here. So then, after you get that, you can start to decode it and start finding out what all information is there. What all did they calculate? Well, like I said, we're not getting it all. There's way too much for 2 people to get. Just can't. But we can get enough. And then you end up with little gems like, if you look close enough, with K-A-R-M-M-A. That's really tough to see because it's blue on blue, but with the K and the 2 M's being capitalized, and there's another code. So these things are happening, they're in layers, guys. And again, I want to show this one more time. I know it's hard to get the whole thing into the picture at once. But if you're calculating from here, once again, you calculate, the quantum computer, according to Gordy Rose, would calculate 7 realities at once. So you'd be calculating this one too. So we're going to give it that. I interpreted that it was 8, 7, and 7 plus this one, but we're gonna say it's less for the naysayers that may be out there. But just think of this: if you're calculating in all these realities and leaving a code of what you looked for, you would find it in this reality. It would be in reality, because that's the medium in which these quantum computers operate. I reiterate, they operate in reality, so that's where they leave their code. Little changes. Some might even go unnoticed. And it would leave that, it would probably leave a code in every reality. Most importantly, the one that we're in, that the calculation came from right here. And then you can decode it. You can figure out who was looking at what. So I hope we'll try to let this video go at that. And if anybody has any questions, ask, and I can try to explain it better. In the meantime, I'll try to move on, try tomorrow or the next day to our next part of this decode. That would be the numbers medical search. So for now, guys, thanks for all your thumbs up, thumbs down. Thanks for your comments, leads, feedback, and subscriptions. I hope this helped. I hope this explains our theory a little bit. And again, let me just reiterate, if anyone's still with me, 4 is our infinite number to scale. We can't do infinite, but we can pick a number and call it infinite. We picked 4 because that was easy to manage and easy to talk about and easy to diagram. So this is infinite. These 4 would continue going, but that's all we're going to show is this section is 4. It's infinite. And so all this is infinite. But they're calculating double. And I suppose it's also worthy of note that they're using 12 at any time, according to Gordy Rose, 12 quantum computers. And they would each operate like this. They would each operate like this. So if you had 12 of these calculations you could calculate, you could take 7 times 12. 7 times 12 is 84. So you would be making calculations with 84 realities at a time instead of just 6. But we're only diagramming the one. So it would get even more complicated. But then again, how many Mandela effects are there? All right. So hope that helped, guys. And for now, you guys have a great rest of your day.